Tomorrow, Myon Burrell is scheduled to go on trial on weapons and drug charges. If that name sounds familiar, Burrell was released from prison several years ago when his life sentence for the deadly shooting of a young child in Minneapolis was commuted. Reviews of that case finding issues including questionable eyewitness testimony, reliance on jailhouse informants, and a failure by investigators to track down exculpatory surveillance video. As Paul Bloom tells us, our Fox 9 request to allow cameras at Burrell's trial this week was denied, a judicial decision drawing questions and concerns tonight.
December 2020, Myon Burrell released from the Stillwater prison to joyful screams. His life sentence commuted by the state's Board of Pardons. Governor Tim Walz getting the final word.
I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of granting this request. Mr. Burrell, you've been granted a commutation to your sentence of 20 years. The Commissioner of Corrections will work with you and your family immediately. I wish you the best. Thank you.
As a teen, Burrell was convicted in the stray bullet killing of 11-year-old Taisha Edwards, who was shot while doing schoolwork inside her Minneapolis home.
And y'all keep on pushing, man. We fighting for this justice. It's too much injustice going on.
Burrell always maintained his innocence.
As a human being, how can somebody feel okay with watching somebody spend the rest of their natural life in prison for a crime that they didn't commit?
But Burrell is scheduled to be back in court this week on new felony charges after Robbinsdale police allegedly found drugs as well as a loaded Glock with an extended magazine inside his SUV last year. A request for a camera in that courtroom to track proceedings, though, denied by Assistant Chief Judge Mark Kappelhoff.
What it basically came down to was he said, I don't think there's enough public interest in this. Well, how can the public be interested in something they really don't know very much about?
Jane Kirtley is a University of Minnesota media ethics and law professor who has fought for universal camera access in state courts for 25 years now.
By its very nature, any kind of criminal case is a matter of legitimate public interest.
Rules governing cameras in Minnesota courts for trials were loosened this year, with the intention of making it easier for media to potentially broadcast or live stream inside the courtroom, as is allowed in 35 other states. However, judges have fully rejected nearly half of all media requests under these new guidelines.
I think a lot of judges still believe that cameras don't have any business in the courtroom.
Cameras have now been blocked from at least a dozen trials, including Myon Burrell's case, where the judge ruled there is not the same level of interest that there was during the high-profile trials of Derek Chauvin and Kimberly Potter during the height of the pandemic.
The issue is how our courts overall operate, and in many respects, I think it is the more mundane trials that will fly below the radar, where there might actually be problems, and where it's useful to have the media there documenting what's going on.
And there are a couple of significant legal issues at stake with this case, including the fact Myon Burrell is seeking full exoneration from his decades-old murder conviction that his legal team argues would nullify his weapons charge here. And that is because if exonerated, they maintain he can no longer be charged with the crime of a felon in possession of a firearm, as his record would then be cleared and he would no longer be a convicted felon. Paul Bloom, Fox 9.